How's it going, guys? It's Jordan here and welcome back to a brand new video on Call of Duty Black Ops 4, or specifically the Blackout game mode. Over the last 3 days I've been working on this project. Specifically, I wanted to do a video project or idea in which I could discuss a specific topic or go over something interesting whilst also giving myself the chance to improve my skills on the Xbox. Because if you follow the channel, you may know that I am a competitive gamer, but specifically on keyboard and mouse, on a PC. I don't really play many FPSs or anything competitively on the Xbox, and I want to get better, so I thought this video would be a very fun and interesting way to look at something in-game and discuss things that happened from me doing this experiment, whilst also giving myself the chance to improve. I will say this video is inspired massively from another channel called Luke the Notable. He is the one that basically started this whole dropping 100 idea with Fortnite videos. I've been watching him from back in his Halo days, way before he touched Fortnite, and I will say he is a brilliant YouTuber. I will link his channel in the description so that you can go and check out his content. It is definitely worth it if you're interested in these styles of content, and if you're a Halo fan, 100% go and check out his channel. Anyway, without further ado, guys, we're going to take a look at what happened when I dropped 100 times into construction site. You will notice a pattern with this whole thing, and that is dying. Lots and lots of dying. Construction is probably one of the busiest places. I mean, it's a named location, so it's obviously going to be busy anyway. However, I think, I don't know why, it just seems to always be popular. And on the rare occasion that you do find it empty, like completely empty, you'll always find the circle will just appear on the other side of the map, and you don't even have time to loot it. But yeah, it's a bloodbath. So for someone like me who's still trying to like hone my skills with a controller, it's kind of going from, well, it's straight into the deep end. Oh, and I forgot about that. First challenge of dropping into construction. That fucking thing. That thing screwed me so many times. I honestly, like, I don't want to put every single clip in because it will be at least 15 clips of me hitting that and nearly dying. So I forgot to mention, when I did this, I kind of just plucked out the best ones or notable events. So this one, I didn't die from that, but I didn't really encounter anyone, and I moved over to the forest slightly. First thing you'll notice when you do leave tower is you end up going to a very open hill. And as you'll see here, I got completely dropped because I just really wasn't paying attention. I'd not seen anyone at tower. The loot wasn't actually brilliant on that occasion. I think I only got an assault rifle and a couple of basic medical items. And yeah, so I didn't really get much loot, and then you have to go over the very exposed open field. So not really the best. So here is the, this is actually attempt number 4. 2 and 3, I just died upon landing. I got shot, I got outplayed. So this is attempt number 3. I think I got... Oh yeah, I got outplayed again. I actually put these clips together in order a couple of days ago, so I forgot that I started it off with some of my more embarrassing attempts, just to kind of hopefully show the progress that I did make by doing this. And I'm not saying by any means to get better you have to go and drop 100 times, but at this point I still really wasn't that familiar with construction. Like, I've dropped it in the past when I've played on PC and stuff, but I didn't really... Especially on a controller with the issues with aiming, I wasn't really sure what I was looking for. I was just trying my hardest to survive. So yeah, that was basically it. I sort of stuck to submachine guns. I actually finally picked up a kill there. The lifts, by the way, are a big thing. The one thing I noticed very early on is that people always use the lifts, even though it's the most stupid thing, because you can hear exactly when someone's either coming up or going down, because you get the big loud beep sound. And that basically makes for a ton of free kills. That clip did end with me dying. For a couple of these clips I was using the Xbox record that feature, so it doesn't have like start to end, but again I was only picking out notable points anyway, and that was a notable point because that's when I first realised that the lifts are just free kills. They're just serving you kills on a platter with those lifts, because you can hear them from any point on the tower and pretty much isolate where someone's going to be. You'll notice that I always dropped on the very top, and that's because I figured that would be where the most of the loot is. That is not the case, as you'll see further on into the video, and as well as that, it's also the most popular place. You always find the most people on the very top floor. So it's, I mean, it can sometimes have very good loot, but more often than not you just get pretty basic guns, so it's kind of very high risk, medium reward. I don't think I never saw level 3 armor or level 2 armor. It was always basic stuff. I think I completely potatoed it. I did potato there. Not so good with aiming, as you can see once again. But again, I think I was pretty much one on the top floor every single time. That's one thing that I sort of learned watching this back, was that the top floor, the top level is not always the place to go to. Like another massive issue that I noticed was doing this as well is that for a lot of the times I dropped weapons and oh, level 2 armor right there, that shut me up. Weapons and things wouldn't actually spawn when you're diving in, so you'll be diving in like, you know, frantically looking for a weapon because everyone else is dropping in, and sometimes like the weapon textures or whatever pop in late, so you can't actually sort of scout out the area whilst landing, which makes the top floor like even worse of a choice, because then you've kind of got this weird moment where you're absolutely blind and you have no idea what you're looking for or where, because you can't see anything, and then someone else may have not had that issue and already picked up a gun and bam, you're dead. So this clip moved on slightly. That was an example there in the last clip of the zone being super far away. The zone is very far away. You do find yourself in a tricky spot with this one because you're on the very far corner of the map. So if you're, you know, being in the far left-hand corner, sorry, wherever it is in the map, I can't even remember off the top of my head. Being in that corner of the map and then having the zone potentially in the other corner makes for a serious problem if it happens. And we got another kill here, but you can see again my aim is absolute garbage on a controller. If I didn't get that flashbang, there was no way I was going to win that. Thankfully, it does improve later. There is something in regards to aiming which landing on construction specifically helped, but I will go through that when the clips kind of get to that point. So I was still kind of running with the same setup here of trying to go for close range weapons at first to kind of clear out the tower, and then hopefully pick up a long range assault rifle or something with some range and see if I can clear up a few kills like lower on the ground. And for the most part, that tactic stayed the same throughout. Close range guns, just yeah, if you see one, go for it and keep a hold of it until you know the tower is clear. Because they dominate. As you can see there, the shotgun, it's going to just melt anyone at this kind of distance, which is most of the engagements that you will find with the tower. So I think this is another clip of me. I think I did actually get him in the end, but it was a hard potato again. I think I kept on missing, and then eventually he just walked in front of me, and I managed to pick up the free kill. But again, if you'd gone for or me in this case, if I'd gone for a longer range gun, I probably would have got melted there, because again, aim is garbage, but that's not to do with this video, that's just purely me. So this is kind of like the first point where I started to realize something which I hadn't really kind of expected. When I started dropping at construction, I always expected there to be a sniper rifle here no matter what, because I assumed it would fit the theme of, you know, the tower. Well, not really tower, but, you know, I always call it tower. So if I ever say tower, that's me referencing construction, just as a heads up. But I always assumed that you would always find a sniper rifle up here, bearing in mind it's, you know, high up location. Now, I worked out the average here. I only actually got a sniper rifle 7.4% of the time that I dropped into tower. Construction. Did it again. Now that I said tower, I'm going to keep doing it. 7.4% out of 100 matches. And if that average sounds a bit weird to you, I think it's because I actually did play slightly over 100 games, and that's because I had recording issues and stuff, so I re-recorded it. But when I worked out the average of it, it was like 7.8%. So that is not a lot of time to get a sniper rifle. So if you're looking at construction purely for maybe you love sniping, you're good at it, and you're like, oh, I'll go to construction because it's definitely going to be a sniper rifle. Not the case. 7.8% is very, very low. I think the most common weapon I found that was pretty good were heavy machine guns. I think I didn't actually work out an average for that one, but I can tell you now it was definitely over 50% that I saw a heavy machine gun. Now, personally, I don't really like them because again, they're really hard to aim for someone that's not that great with a controller anyway. As you, oh no, I did get that kill. I thought I was about to die then. But yeah, so I kind of avoided those. But if heavy machine guns are your thing, then you're gonna find one here. Well, there's a very high chance that you will find one here. They are definitely the most common. If you're interested in how many of the legendary weapons I found, or you know, the orange glowing ones, whatever you want to call them, I worked out the average for that of 12.3%, which is higher than the sniper rifle. So I got like rare legendary guns more than I got a sniper rifle dropping tower, and that's over 100 games. So that's quite a bit of testing there, and that one surprised me. Something else that I didn't expect as well is armor. I thought I would get level 2 armor more often than I did, and I thought that I would get level 3 a couple of times. I got level 3 armor only once doing this. Out of all the games I played, in total, I say 100 games for the title of the video, but technically it was about 106 or 7. But out of all of those games, I got level 3 armor once. And by the sort of the later games, I was literally searching this place top to bottom. I was going absolutely everywhere, and I say level 3 once. Level 2, I picked up that armor up, I think I wrote it down somewhere, 9 times. I got level 2 armor 9 times, which again, out of 106 games, is not a lot. So far, I must admit, I was kind of skeptical about construction. I couldn't tell if I was just getting extremely unlucky or not. But it wasn't really until later on that I did figure out the advantages. Well, there's several advantages that landing here does have. Again, you can see that was a complete mess up. I had to include that one. If you are dropping here, watch out for those things, man. They mess you up because the game doesn't. I don't even actually. I can't even find the words. I'm still kind of angry watching that back. I remember how angry I was when that happened, and oh my god, you're about to watch a massive potato here, I think. Yeah, here we go. Look at that. Look at that. If you ever wanted to see a terrible aimer or aiming, I don't even know. If you want to see someone play terrible, there you go. That was me there. I had a real hard time picking up single shot weapons with the controller. Again, people that follow me on this channel will know that I don't think I've ever played anything competitively on the Xbox before with a controller. I've always been mouse and keyboard. But the thing is, I kind of want to get into this game competitively more so that I have something a bit more casual to play and don't have to constantly be sat at a desk. So I was, kind of forcing myself to learn to get better with a controller whilst also dropping 100 times into the exact same spot. Which I will say is soul destroying like halfway through, maybe even earlier. I think I spent 3 days in total recording all this footage. Again, submachine gun melts at close range. Always go for submachine guns in close range here because all the engagements are pretty much right in your face. It's only like the odd few where someone's maybe on the far end of the tower, but generally right in your face. This is a few games ahead. We're actually on game 42 now, so my aim was picking up slightly. I'm really sure I should have been mentioning which games they were. Again, I'm only just choosing notable ones because there's a lot of land, die, land, die, land, die, and I don't know if you want to see all of that. I probably will try and make one of these again and see the actual amount of times that I died embarrassingly. Feel free to let me know in the comments and I will go through every clip. In fact, actually, I will even make another video on top of this one showing you the deleted clips of me just getting wrecked if you're interested in those. There's a couple of really embarrassing ones in there. I also realised that the Tomahawk is kind of OP. Different clip. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself there. Later on, you will realise the Tomahawk is OP. Again, utilising the lifts. I heard him come up, so I kind of just got prepared for it. Free kill, no risk involved. That is probably the one, like the most beautiful thing about construction is if you control the top and then people come up on the lift. It's just like lambs to the slaughterhouse, really. It's absolutely easy, no danger for you, and you get all their sweet loot, like I did here with the Paladin. Now, this was like the first time I finally got a sniper rifle, and I died straight away with it, pretty much. I think we jumped across here. I think I got like 1 kill with it, and then I came across here, and I'm pretty sure this guy ends up wrecking me. I think I just jumped ahead just to show you that I suck, basically. The plan was to try and sit on construction with the sniper rifle, but or the Paladin, but unfortunately the zone moved to a really horrible location, so I couldn't really do that. I don't know why, but I've left this clip on for way longer than it needs to be. Maybe I wanted to view the kill cam. Alright, so this is actually drop number 63, and I just wanted to show you this son of a bitch who chased me all the way down the stairs for no apparent reason. So the next one is moving up to drop number 65, only a small jump. Again, I just melting people with the close range guns. I kind of got that one down very quickly. I definitely think that my skills with close range guns have improved like massively because of doing this. Because like 80% of the engagements I actually had were close range, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting to do a lot of sniping and get really good at headshots, which is what I wanted, but I didn't. I ended up fighting for my life every single time I dropped in because it's such a popular and chaotic area. Like, if you're going to drop construction, then you are accepting that you're probably going to die a lot. Like, it's not... I wouldn't say it's the ideal place to drop. If you can come out on top, then you're in a really good position. If you come out on top and the zone stays on you, you're in a absolutely perfect position. Like, things could not be better for you than if the zone's on you and you control the tower, because people have to come up to get you. You can snipe if you're good at that. There's me running into a mine, forgot to mention that. That's me being a dumbass. This is also me being a dumbass and looting on the edge of the map. Another thing I wanted to point out, that one's there for a specific reason, is to remind you that you are very open on the side of the building. People can see you from very, very far away, or even just below you in the case of the tower. So when you are like looting or whatever, just be very observant of the fact that you're on the edges. These are just a small montage of me getting destroyed because I have to stay humble. For every game I did good, there was like 5 bad ones, and I can't try and act like that didn't happen. That was me once again almost getting destroyed. Trauma kits, actually that's something I wanted to talk about as well. That's written down in my notes here. So trauma kits are plentiful on construction, and like honestly they are like my favorite thing. Trauma kits, whenever I get one of those I'm like, I'm gonna win. I'm not gonna win most of the time, but I feel like I'm gonna win, and that's the important thing. But I ended up walking out with sometimes 2 or 3 trauma kits. So I worked out here different averages for trauma kits. So you've got a 70% chance in my tests to get a trauma kit, and you've got a 42% chance to get 2 trauma kits, and a 13% chance to get 3 trauma kits. That's if you obviously control tower the whole time. There's also the chance you're going to get shot in the head and someone's going to take your trauma kit, which happened to me probably 99.9% of the time. So we're on clip 78 now, so by this point you would think I would be getting a lot better, and I was getting better in a lot of aspects, but I was still, aiming was still holding me back the most, and that's something I'm going to talk about in another video. Like, I don't know what kind of video I'm going to do that, but it's something that I really should have pre-thought about before dropping into one of the heaviest zones possible. The one thing to learn from that is if you're new to this kind of game, or like me, you're swapping from PC to console, for whatever reason, then stay the hell away from tower, because there are people that drop in tower that have reflexes that are just not even human. I'm pretty sure we've got some genetically modified people playing this game, because there were so many times where I would see someone and by the time I'd actually clocked they were there, they'd done a 180 and shot me in the back of the head. But you can see here that I actually did get quite a bit better at close range sort of engagements. There's also a legendary gun there, or rare gun. I don't actually know what they're called. There wasn't a pistol, so I'm pretty sure I just said nah to that because I knew my aiming was going to really let me down with that one. But another example, I've got a trauma kit, I've got a rare gun there. So I was getting good loot, but I wasn't getting what I was expected. I still wasn't getting many sniper rifles. I think most of the time I got sniper rifles is when I killed someone else who would come up the lift. So I'll have to do a bit of digging into that. I guess somewhere below there's some other good places. But for this video I was purely focusing primarily on dropping on top of tower. And this is where it kind of shows its advantages, in that when people are below you, you are almost guaranteed to win. As long as you don't potato too hard, you can kind of get a few free kills if you're on top of the tower and you control it. And also, for those of you who don't know, you can redeploy your wingsuit and jump off easily. That's something I should have mentioned early on. I didn't know that for a while, and it makes life so much easier when you're up here. This is something that, not the cleanest kill, but at the time I felt like an absolute boss for doing it, because I fully just killed this dude and stole his truck, and then died shortly afterwards, I believe, as this clip will probably show. I think actually I did pretty good in this game. If this is the one I think it is, I may have got quite close to winning. I don't know. I feel like I will have to remember. There's a lot of clips here, to be honest. This is a kind of video I've never done before, so you're going to have to half bear with me here. I'm kind of hoping that this one won't go too badly and I can try and make a few more like this and get better at it, because it's not something that I've done ever before, and this is the longest I've ever had to talk about a subject. Kind of just, I've got notes, but most of it is just me talking over the footage that I'm seeing in front of me at the same time as you. But at this point I was feeling pretty good, because every time I walked away from tower I would always have a long range assault rifle. You may not get sniper rifles, but you will always be able to pick up an assault rifle with an extended barrel and a few other nifty attachments. So you're kind of, although you're not going to get sniper rifles as much as I would expect you to, you're definitely going to get enough long range weaponry to be able to carry you through most of the game. And in terms of medical supplies, if you do it right, you're going to be covered for the entire game, especially with trauma kits. You will get so many trauma kits. I think there was one game where I had 3 trauma kits, like 10 med kits and 10 bandages. This is me potatoing the absolute hardest. I think I was getting very overly confident here, and I kind of assumed that I could just do whatever, and as you can see, I could not do whatever, because that dude was just like, nah mate, I'm having none of that shit, and completely took me out. 24, so it wasn't what I thought it was. I think I think maybe it's a bit later on. There was a game where I think there's 2 games where I came second. I can't remember if I got the footage for both of them, because again I had a nightmare recording this. This is one of the rare examples where I finally did get a sniper rifle, and you'll see I am not very good at aiming because I didn't really have much, didn't get as much practice with the sniper rifle as I wanted, which is annoying because that was one of the biggest reasons that I picked this location for this experiment, because I wanted to get better at sniping, and I walked out being a boss at submachine guns and shotguns instead, which is the complete opposite end of the spectrum. That's the clip where I was talking about tomahawks being OP or combat axes. That dude just fully stuck me in the hand, and my guy was like, you know what, lost 2 fingers, not worth living anymore, just gonna roll over and die. I think that may have been one of the few times I actually raged so hard, because I pretty much had him in the kill count. I saw he had like 1 health. So I outplayed him in terms of reflexes, but then he outplayed me by being a total boss and throwing an axe in my hand, which still definitely should have killed me. Once again, trauma kit, mad reflexes, getting pretty good at reflexes in close range engagement by this point. Not only was my aiming getting pretty good with all sorts of close range guns, but also my reflexes were so much better than when I started, which is to be expected from playing this many games straight up anyway. But for me, it was nice to finally be able to like feel like I could hold my own and aim well, especially in close range engagements, because there's a lot of, especially towards the end of the game, that's where I always find that I choked the most, was when it came to the very end of a match, and it was just you versus like 3 people and the zone was pretty much empty, and I would always choke, and that's pretty much, yeah, that was always a downfall. So although I didn't become good at sniping like I wanted to, definitely got some skills that were useful. This guy here I'd been actually fighting for a very long time on the tower, and as you can see he had like 2 trauma kits, which I'm going to assume he got from tower as well, because he was with me the whole time. So again, reinforcing that medkits or trauma kits are everywhere. Also, I'm going to let this clip run out the entire time, because besides getting that boss sniping kill there is a very interesting moment that happens in a minute, not even in relation to this little experiment thing that I was doing. It's just one of those things where I don't quite know how I didn't die, or how this guy did not realise I was there. I think it's literally any minute now. Oh no, it's me failing at sniping a couple of times before. So I may have got a good kill, but you can see that I will quite happily potato right after that kill. I think I may have hit him like once. No, not even once. What a shame. So bearing in mind, I've been making a ton of noise here. I've been sniping, I've been running around the place, come up to this bush, and I'm like, you know what, this looks like a good bush. Nothing suspicious here. Pull out my sniper rifle to crouch behind it, and then this motherfucker pops out. And, you know, in classic FaZe style, I, you know, no-scoped him, because I'm in FaZe. I do that all the time. But I just remember that happening, and I was just like, what? How did this even happen? I made so much noise. And he was just like, nah, no, I'm going to pay attention to it. This is an interesting one, purely because I should have killed this guy so easily. I mean, not that easily because he had level 3 armor, it's mental. But it just became the sloppiest 1v1 I think I've ever had in a game ever. It was, I don't quite know what happened, but we both kind of just kept on throwing constant shit at each other, hitting each other for like 1 or 2 points, and then at the end we did a full-on like charge towards each other. You'll see here there is a ton of fire, a ton of chaos, and at this point it's just like, if I keep shooting, hopefully he'll die. But I did catch on fire and got out of the zone, and for a split second I thought I was dead. There was a moment of scaredness, if that's even a word, scaredness isn't a word, but I was like, it's over. But little did I know it was actually over at this point. I prematurely decided that I'd lost, but I was actually waiting to get killed by this guy right at the very end, and I think I came second. Honestly, like, I was so devastated because this is, I say game 100, this is actually game 103, but I was so excited at the thought of making like one of my final games a win. I was like, holy crap, this is absolutely perfect, but unfortunately I did not. But the main takeaways that I learned from dropping on construction is that be prepared for an absolute bloodbath. First of all, the biggest thing, be prepared for lots of people with lots of close range guns. Make sure you master aiming and very quick responses, because people are going to just pop out of corners everywhere, and most of the time you see someone, they're going to be right in your face. So you know, you got that going for you. And also just remember that if you do manage to clear out all the area and hold it down, then you pretty much are king of the castle. Literally, you have a castle to yourself and you will be in a very, very good position. If you can find yourself a sniper rifle as well, you're golden. One of the biggest things as well that I wanted to mention is you can literally hear everything from everywhere on tower or construction. You can hear everyone's footsteps no matter what floor they're on. It constantly sounds like people are running up to you. It constantly sounds like someone's next to you. Like the sound just echoes through everywhere, which can really play with you. So I would avoid using awareness when you're on construction, because that just makes it even worse and it sounds like everyone is right next to you constantly, and it just freaks. I did it like once and I just literally freaked out and I was paranoid and checking every single corner, and I eventually just died because I was paying too much attention to sounds that I thought were closer than they actually were. So yeah, do be careful of that, but also play off the advantage of the fact that the lifts make a ton of sounds and people still haven't really quite figured out yet that lifts are to be avoided, which also reminds me, don't use the lifts, always use the wingsuit. If you jump, like run towards the edge and hold the jump button, you can glide back down. If you use the lift, you're basically just saying, hey, I'm here, and all it takes is one cluster grenade to be thrown inside there and it's game over. And of course, like I said, don't expect to always get long range guns or sniper rifles. Don't even expect to get a helicopter. I thought there was a helicopter that spawned there pretty much every time, but I didn't see it once in 100 games. And I know it spawns there because I've seen it before, but in the 100 games I played, I did not see it once, which for me means a 0% chance of getting it. But in reality, I guess it would be like 2%. I don't know. Whatever the chances are, it's slim because I did not see it very often. Unless they did a patch or something to move it, I don't know, because I thought it was very odd that I didn't see it. But if you're going there for a helicopter, don't even bother. I think the farm is where I saw it the most. Every time I sort of ventured out, when I got to the farm, I saw a helicopter. So that's the good place to go to if you're looking for that. Anyway guys, if you are still watching to this point, thank you so much for sticking with me. This is a completely new style of content for me, and I'm really kind of going a bit out of my comfort zone here. This is not something I would normally do. I don't even normally talk for this long when it comes to videos, which you would think I'd be good at, or my friends would and stuff, because I never shut the fuck up half the time. But yeah, this is new and exciting for me because I'm really trying to branch out the content, and if you did enjoy this, then I really do hope that you learned something from it, or if you just wanted to watch someone that's probably playing a bit worse than you, then I hope I provided like 23 minutes of entertainment in that regard. If you do want to see more content like this, and if you want to see the fails and all the other clips, then do let me know, because I'm not going to delete them. I'm going to keep them for a couple of days or whatever to see if there's any interest in the other clips as well. And going forward, if I do make another one of these videos and you guys are interested, then I will go through each game sort of one by one. Sorry, I completely stumbled over my words there. But if you want me to do this going forward game by game, then I will. But I just thought in the interest of some form of entertainment, you wouldn't want to see the really, really bad attempts of me literally just lying and landing and getting shot. Anyway, if you did enjoy the video, please do smack that like button and subscribe if you want to see some more awesome gaming content. Whatever day you watch this on, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.